Okay. Yeah, it's started. The recording is started, and then I can share the link with you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that way you can share that into those who are not able to attend.
Yeah, and I think even just having that for when we have new leadership, that this would be a great tool to have for them.
Great.
Hey, Carlos, this is Wayne. Got a question for you.
Sure.
If historically we have centered, and I've used historically a consultant, I guess you could say, a Jennifer Sankey oncology data management, is there any way of determining for Palms West Surgery Center whether or not reports have been sent in the past or done? Or is this something new that we have to go through a new person now?
And let me tell you something. The FCDA is not allowed to recommend any ODS or CTR, but there is a list available. But Caroline already have, for me, one of the best abstractor, which is Joyce Allen.
Okay.
You can share with her that information, and maybe you can contact her and to change the abstract. But as I say, I am unable to recommend any because it's not what is it's not legal. It's not legal
Yeah.
to do that.
So Wayne, we're in the process now. Once Carlos helps with the education for everybody, I've already gotten Joyce to agree to help us with all of our centers that don't already have abstractors or would like to change. And this way she'll be able to help everybody, or at least everybody can have the option to use her if they don't have their own abstractor already. So
No, that
just
worked
trying
out
to
well.
make yeah, just trying to make this easier for everybody because there are a lot of folks who just don't have anything set up at all.
So,
So
Carlos, anyone that Carol Ann want to work with, I'm totally happy and stuff with that because Carol Ann is top notch.
Yeah, okay, we totally agree
When
with
she
that.
speaks, we listen.
I'm glad that I had this conversation last week with Caroline because she take the step and she called me and contact me. And I'm very happy and glad to work as much as we can with you guys because for me it's very important, obviously for you too, because it's mandated by law to report. The way we work, just in advance, a little information. The way we work is having, based on an audit for ACA, you report to ACA your patients, your patients, and then we share interchange data with ACA, and we have all the pending non-reported cases. That's why we have the follow back. That follow back include only those which are not yet in our system reported. Sorry for my voice, but it's very important for you to know that. And I know you have a person in your facilities who do that work to report to ACA all those patients already treated by your facilities. And that is very important. No miss to that. Um, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we have this thing. For example, in your facility, when in your facility you have maybe 10 physicians, surgeons, physicians. And at the same time, those surgeons have their own practice, independent than the surgery center. When sometimes happens, those physicians that report their cases using an is insurance claims, which is a different way to report insurance claims only. And we have millions of records received by that way. But working with surgery centers, the reports is a bit different. Not it's a completely different because we use an ODS to report the cases from the surgery centers because they have to develop an abstract. And the abstract is it is complicated. They have about 10 or 12 different tabs and take about 1 hour, 2 hours to work for each patient, depending on the sites. Some sites are very simple, like dermatology, for example, but other sites with the, for example, the liver, the lungs, or well, other sites in the body which are very complicated to work with because they have to collect many information from pathology laboratories, from radiation centers, from treatment physicians, from oncologists, and they have to collect all that stuff and put it in one abstract. And that abstract is reported to us in behalf of your facility. You're following that part, right? Okay, that is important, and the abstracts will be done by in this case from Joyce Allen. And for me, I'm glad to work with her. I know her many years, probably 20 years or more, and I know the type of work she did. She has very well knowledge and also very compliant with her facilities. She is in the top all the time. She is in the top of the case. Okay, I think it's time I will start the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Let me start sharing my screen. Let me open the part. Hold on. Not yet. Okay. Let me open. Okay, now I am able to okay, share screen. Okay. Okay, you're seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me put this back to this side. Okay, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are the FDA, the mandate agency to collect cancer from all the centers from Florida. In this case, we have in our system 515 surgery center register, and we work collecting data cases from using follow back, which is the ACA audit results. Okay, and the first thing, this is the webpage, our home webpage. Okay, if you have not installed our FCDS main idea, you need to use this FCDS homepage. Then you will have this prompted, and then you can use the new idea or the other one, which is the FCDS idea. Both are in the main home screen, okay? Then we can start to install the new idea in the system, which is when you click on here and this let me check that thing. You will have this, which is a tutorial, okay? In the tutorial, you have ID installation, new user, all that stuff, okay? Then click, as I said, click on there or there, and this is mandate. You need to install this in your computer. And also I had to remark, our system only works with Windows. Unfortunately, at this time, Mac, Apple computers are not supported yet, okay? Be aware of that part. Sometimes physicians or sometimes organizations are tending to change to Apple. Okay, the next step, you will be prompted to complete the installation. As soon as you click that, you will have this. You click the IDEA launcher, and then the system will launch the application. You will have this screen, and then you will go to main IDEA and the login pop up, okay? If you have questions, please don't hesitate to interrupt me, okay? Then create a new user, new user accounts. The first step, after you complete the installation, you need to prompt that in. And the same pop-up below, you have create a new user account. Then we'll be prompt to have questions to respond, okay? In your case, you have to select note in this case. Then you need to add the user, the kind of user, the type of user. You need to select general user role, okay? No other. Then after that, you will be prompt to add all the information. Your username will be created automatically with the system. For example, in the case of the Wayne will be W. Jones, probably. If you are the unique W. Jones, you will have W. Jones. If there is more W. Jones, will be W. Jones 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever is the number, okay? Then continue the new user. You will have on a small icon the new user ID confirmation. That will be an email, okay? Check the email, please. Then you will have another email with a link. Click on the link to activate the account. When it's activated, just click it on the thing and it never will be again that pop. At the start, you will have this icon in your desktop or your line of icons below the screen. You will have, when you click that, you will have this, which will be the pop-up to access this, which is the login pop-up, okay? Then this is the dashboard. In the dashboard, you will have information related with this. Items needing attention. Under that thing, you will see if you have cases. In this case, I already have identified all Saints users, all Saints record facility. In this particular case, I have 251 records, and the current FAA is Amanda Rattray. Okay, when Carlene will be the FAA for all the facilities, we need to remove Amanda as FAA, and Carlene will be the FAA for all the 31 facilities. Okay, as mentioned, currently Joyce Allen is the ODS for All Saints facility. Will be for more than that probably. Okay, then double click in that particular row and will appear immediately this new screen, which is this, which is this below. And then you will have the list of cases. I don't show that thing because it's HIPAA regulation prohibit to share that thing, okay? And in this case, I need to have from each of your facilities, if you are not registered yet, from each of your facilities, the profile modification form, which is this one. You will receive a PDF, a fillable PDF format, and you will select the option S, and then start filling the information requested. When you submit, the system automatically will send that form to Melissa Williams. She is the person who handles all the forms, user types, user names, FAA roles, all that stuff, and she will manage the addition of those roles in the system, and it will be then work with all you as a user or FAA. The form will help me to identify all the facilities if are or not registered. Adding a role. In this case, this part will be for Carlene because she already had a user account. She needs to add additional role, which is add additional role as a facility access administrator. Okay. At this point, she cannot do that because we need to remove all the FAA from all other facilities which already have FAA on the system. Okay, then she will be able to add all the facilities. Okay, as soon the facility authorization is completed, this part need to be filled by the supervisor or your supervisor, Colin, will be the CEO, chief financial officer, or whoever is your supervisor, okay? Then your user will be authorized to be the FAA, okay? This is, and for example, I use, as I said before, I use the FAA from Amanda to add you as a user. Then your user C host is already in the system. You are now able to access your facilities. Okay. There's the current authorizers. Okay. This will be prompted as soon as you enter to remove renew facilities as FAA. Right here, for example, for Soul Saints Centers, we have Amanda, me, Karen, and Joyce Allen. Those are the authorized people to access the facility records, okay? Nobody else. And if you need to remove someone, you need to click on remove and then submit. That person will be immediately removed from the system. That ability is only for the FAA, okay? Then, since you are the current FAA, you will be the current FAA for all the facilities. You need to request all the facilities. Right here, where the facility, for example, I have 8064, you have to put it right here, 8064. Then the system will prompt the full name of the facility here.
Hey, Carlos, question.
Sure.
I see you have Carol Ann Holtz, and I think she's going to, as you just mentioned a few seconds ago, was that she would have access to all the surgery centers. So we're not putting in as user ID the administrator. We actually putting in Carol Ann Holtz.
You can put either, no problem. It's no matter. Because normally a hospital administrator is just to see the who is in, who is out, what cases are pending or that stuff. And right here, for example, Joyce Allen have both because she had to see facilities and also had to see the numbers and be able to add records to the system.
So that's going to be pre-populated already. We don't have to go back and add in as a user ID each one of those.
Not necessarily. When Caroline add a new user, she will add those rows.
Okay.
Okay. As I said, the cases, the facilities will be added right here. There are so many you need to be to do that. You need to be the facility administrator. I already explained this part, and this portion had to be filled by the CEO. And this is, for example, the form which need to be signed by both the FAA and also the supervisor. Okay. And you need to facilitate for 31 facilities, 31 forms like this. By that, you are ready to go. It's very simple, really. As I said, this is my phone number, my email address, and you can contact me anytime. Okay, I'm ready for your questions.
Wayne, again, this PowerPoint that you just presented, is that something that can be mailed to the administrators?
I already shared that with Caroline, and she will be able to share with you guys.
Okay, thank you.
And I recorded this Zoom meeting, and I will share that record with Caroline, and she will share that thing with you guys.
By the way,
I have a question. I use the same person that Wayne Jones uses, Jennifer Sankey. However, you all had a system update probably about, I don't know, 6 or 9 months ago, and we kept glitching where we were unable to confirm that she had access again to our files. That's been what's causing our delays. That once there was that transition, it became very cumbersome for us to get her back up and running. I don't know if you've experienced that with other facilities, but if you can just know that I'll be reaching out to you, if not later today, by tomorrow. I'm Jackie. just to make sure that Jennifer's ready to go so we can, again, because we have files that are pending.
Okay, let me explain something. I'm glad you
Yeah.
bring that in up.
Yes.
There is two there is two ways to work with facilities. On my first conversation with Caroline, I asked, and I do the same with you. Your facility have electronic medical records?
We don't, but we already have a system in place where we pull the stuff we scan and we encrypt it and email it.
Okay.
That's how we've done it with her.
Okay, then I asked this question because in the very beginning of our system, we have the abstractor be able to access your system and access your database and access the list of cases and work online of the cases.
Yeah.
Currently, many of the facilities are working this, making hard copies of the medical records and share that through the encrypted email with the abstractor. Okay, then she will be able to work with the cases in the list of the follow back of the pending records in the facility. Then, if she is not able to electronically work, she need to have that records mailed in hard copies to her address, because she sometimes tell me, I'm asking for the medical records. I don't receive the medical. I am in top of this, in particular with that particular abstractor, because she have many facilities, and I need her to be able to work with the records she have pending in the system.
For sure. Yeah.
She have access already to the facility. You have a user.
She did, because she's done work for us in the past, but once there was a system upgrade, then there were many glitches, and I remember I had to follow up. I'm not sure if it was with you that I communicated with, but it was like, yeah, give us some time. There are some glitches in the system. Check back in a month, and then it just never. It became so cumbersome, honestly, that I had to pivot to something else. But we need to get her back on. So I'm glad that she's on your radar, and now you know that at least two of us work with her, myself and Palms West.
Let me explain. Let me explain you something. When you say back, we have on glitches. Our system was down for about a time. Okay, when we regain, we have to do this. We clear all the user access. And then all the users need to regain access, okay? As main users or accessing users like ODS, they need to regain access. In the case of FAA, it is still a lot of work to do, because they have to comply with security protocols. They forbid me to help them to regain the access. Those who lose the access as FAA or the user from facilities need to contact Melissa Williams or Mark Rudolph. They both are in our use in our system. When you go to the FCDS idea main account, and you will be prompted to see our profiles there. You got the emails, phone numbers, all that stuff. I recommend, if you are with that problem, I recommend you to contact them and regain access. You are the FAA for your facility?
Yes. And you said Melissa Williams, and I know that name. And the other one was Mark Rudolph?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they both, either of them can help you with the problem you have to regain access to the system. But as I said, you can do that right away, because in the meantime, we are working with Caroline to have all the information for those 31 facilities with the license act, all that stuff I request. And then all the current FAA for all those facilities will be removed, okay? And will be only one FAA for 31 facilities your organization. Why? Because we cannot have two FAA at the same time for the facilities. That's the only way. Okay? Unfortunately, Jacqueline, you will be removed. But if you don't want to lose right now, your thing you have to do regain your access right away. Okay?
Okay.
Contact Melissa or Mark. You have a question, Wayne.
Yeah, actually, you sparked my interest, Carlos, quite a bit on this. Let me just try to rehash a little bit. So Joyce Allen has asked, well, going historically, because some of us have been involved with it in the past, it can be quite a large number of medical records. And it was very task oriented to copy, encrypt, and
Yeah,
send.
251, for example.
It was very task
Yeah.
oriented. Took weeks to get all that together. So
And
Carlos, what you're saying is through Joyce Allen, she already has access to our medical records, so we would no longer have to copy, scan,
if
send.
she have access to the medical records directly online, it's not necessary to have printed out all those records.
How do we know she has access online? Because that's a big time saver.
You can contact directly to her, and you need to provide that because that is not handled by FCBS.
Yeah, that may
That
not be
is
approved by yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be approved by our IT department, so we need to figure that out.
yeah, you need to do that
I'm-
because that's the only way
I
for
don't think it
them
is.
to access your database. You need to find or sign a special contract with the legal teams to forbid to share that thing with somebody.
Okay.
All the
So that
legal.
may be a little glitch. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
What
not
I'm gonna
necessarily.
do,
Oh,
I'm
sorry. Go
sorry,
ahead, Carolyn.
Wayne. I was just gonna say, I'm gonna talk to Kirk and see if there's a way that we can, with our agreement, confidentiality and such, if she was able to get a sign-on for each of the centers, maybe for Easy Chart, and that we were able to do that would be really great in terms of, having her access the charts without the center staff needing to do all that task work.
Mhm.
That will be
So,
great. Save
yeah.
time, security, and also the abstractor has no excuse to say, I don't have the records.
Yeah.
They will have access to the record.
Yeah, because on the acute side, I mean, Parallon does the reporting for the acute side for Florida, but they have access to Meditech, their EMR. So I want us to be able to do something similar. So if we have maybe one abstractor who has an agreement with our region, with the state, then I feel like that, would be the equivalent. And it would be a lot less work for the centers to have to get that data for her.
That will be great. That will be.
Yeah.
It's
My next
not only,
question.
remember, it's not only here, there are several abstractors currently working with your facilities. When I have the 31 facilities in the list you have we are working, Caroline, I will be able to identify how many facilities are already registered and how many are not. If you have a chance, you have the chance in that Excel, you can add in one more column and tell me the option which is registered, not registered. If you're registered, you will probably know the 4 digits facility ID. That will be great help for me.
Carlos, I have one more question. So, and this, just out of curiosity, when I've gone onto the site to get set up initially, where it says the facility, you put in the facility ID. Where do I find that list of our facility IDs? Because when I go there, that's been like a big question mark.
That's the thing I am trying to tell you. If you don't know, for me, it will be great to have those 4 items I request, which is the acolyte, all those 4 things. Then I will go to my database, which is recap, the name inside, and I will go to database and we'll work with DACA number, with the license, all that stuff, and we'll be able to identify based on names because we don't have the 4 digits. Based on names, I will identify in my database if the facility is or not registered. The other thing you can share with your 31st administrators. If they know the facility ID number, share with you that facility ID number, and then you share that in with me. And that way we will be able to work.
Okay. And the ACA file number, is that, because I think there's been some question about the difference between the ACA file number and the state license number. I know what the state license number is, but the ACA file number, so let's say, for example, they've gone on and registered for on ACA for patient safety culture survey, and they received a file number. Do you happen to know if that's like a file number that is applied for the center for everything? Is that like a universal file number, or is that something I just need to reach out to ACA?
The ACA ID is the file, ACA file, okay? The license is related with ACA, not with us. It's related with ACA. Either of those information will help us to identify facility, not facility, okay?
Because I can more easily I have the license numbers, they're clear, the NPI, but I just questioning around if I have the correct ACA file number.
I prefer you to provide the ACA file.
Okay. I will
worry about license, okay?
Okay, well, that's the one I have. I'll send you what I have for the ACA file number, and hopefully those are the correct numbers, and you'll let me know.
All right. Okay.
All right. And two more questions. One is, so if I go in and I have to remove Jackie as the FAA, can I change her title there, like as far as just having access as a general user there?
She will continue to be a user.
Okay.
She will continue to have the role as administration and also as data entry. The only thing she will not have is the role of AA.
Okay. I just want to make sure if I have to remove her from that, if it automatically will.
No. You have to do nothing with that part. Will be outside work. Melissa will remove all the FAA from facilities when we are ready. We remove all the FAA from facilities. You will then be able to request the facilities to be added to your user account. Okay? But removing the FAA from current user will not affect the other roles, which are the user, general user, of that stuff. The only thing they will not have is the FAA. That's it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure they'll all still have their access and everything won't change.
Okay.
And last question I have is, so if there are facilities that rarely, if ever, do pathology.
Okay.
It's still, if it's even remotely possible that they might do pathology, they would still need to get an account set up, correct?
Well, we also receive reports from pathology laboratories. Okay. We currently have in Florida about 25,000 pathology laboratories. And the way to report, we have two ways to report. A single entry, we have a format to do that, and also upload data from their site database. Okay, if you do have pathology laboratory, I think you have in each surgery center. That's why you have a CLIA number. See, if the facility report abstracts, that is completely different than the pathology laboratory.
The logo is here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The pathology laboratory need to report based on the CLIA number. The ID for pathology report, for example, in the surgery center will be 4 digits. 8404, for example, for all saints. In the case of pathology, will be 10 digits, 10D and 7 different digits, okay? That's the ID for the pathology. And each one of the pathology IDs in Florida are completely different from each other and never will be mixed. Okay? And I will share this CLIA numbers you will provide, because when you select CLIA number and go to the database for CLIA numbers in the system, will appear the full information of the pathology. I will share that with Livia Harding, which is the person who handles all the pathology laboratories. Okay? But I suggest you not to do this thing at the same time, because we can mix up. When we finish this, we go to the next step, which is to register or collect pathology laboratory report using the CLIA number as ID. It's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as I said, when we finish this, might be this week, a couple of weeks, we will finish this registration, conversion, adding facilities to your account, then adding the users authorization, and also the most important, create a way for the ODS to access your database and work online the reported cases to report. Particularly that all things have 251 records to work with, and as Wayne said, it's really time consuming to have making copies or electronic records, whatever, for 251, and then share that thing to the abstractor. It's a bit consuming, a lot consuming time. It's sometimes unsecure way to do things, and they probably, the hackers this time are really amazing using the artificial intelligence, and they can change my voice, my name, my password, and everything, and I appear on your screen and say, I am Carlos Alvarez, which is not true. It's artificial intelligence that they are incredible right now. We need to be very, very careful. That particular agreement need to be signed using all the legal protection for you and the ODS guys. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Questions? Any more questions?
Carlos, so this is something that's done annually, correct? Is every year we have to do this?
Yes, every single year, and thanks for the questions. We work 2 years behind. Okay, we are 2025, and currently we are working 2023. But for those facilities who does not report 2022, those records are adding to the new list of records in the 2023. If then the 2022 have 30 records pending and 2023 have 50, altogether will be 80. Okay? Answer your question?
Yes. The reason I asked that is because we're entering into our budget season right now, and I'm assuming there's a cost associated with this. So if there's an additional line item, and it's just something that this is the time now for us to put that in.
Yeah, great. It's good to know. We just
How do we know what the, yeah. I guess Caroline would know the cost for each facility. I don't know. But Caroline's taking it on.
Lord.
¿Cuántos pesos, señor?
¿Cuánto cuesta? Well, in average, each abstract, you mean that, right?
Yes.
Each abstract, in average, depending on the abstractor, between $30, $50, or $80 per abstract. I'm probably wrong because I never participate on those negotiations. No, I just think because at the very beginning, I talking about 20, 25 years ago, was that $25, $30 per record. But times change, and also price too.
Inflation, huh?
Inflation. We call that inflation. Well, that's a particular profession right now because they need to have a license. They need to have a valid abstractor code approved by us. They need to do every single year retrains and also validate the abstract or code. They need to regain access to the system. They need to keep up all the changes we do every 6 months. We update our data acquisition system. And because the CDC, the COC, all the regulators are changing things. You know, sometimes ago we have the need to report about 25 different site disease index. Is that part that disappeared, thanks God. That part disappeared, is more unsimplified, but it's still complicated. You know, that's why I tell you they take about 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the site to work with. You know, the very low incidence of cancer is the abstract, but it's the very high mortality. Out of 100, probably 2 or 3 survive. And the survival thing, since the diagnosis, don't surpass 6 months. Never. In my experience. I am also a physician, and I have several patients with that part, and I attending them, and they come to us looking for help. I'm able to work with them to relieve the pain, which is excruciating pain. They face change when the pain disappeared, but unfortunately, we cannot. I'm sorry. I'm very strong against this thing. The chemotherapy is not well enough to help people. Sometimes the chemotherapy produces another side disease trying to relapse all the other primary cancer. They normally have a leukemia or something like that. You know, I'm sorry to change the topic, but it's very sad to work in this field when you are very close to the patient who suffers these consequences. You guys are in the way to help them. Yeah, the 50% of the cases using surgery, they have 50% success. When this combination of surgery and chemotherapy, and radiation, the percentage reduced at 30%. When it's 50%, when it's surgery and also chemotherapy, unfortunately, the rate of success is 3 or 4%. It's sad, but it's true. And we have to live with that thing. We cannot do nothing to change that thing. But we need to go. We need to go. We cannot stop. As I said, I'm sorry to change the topic. If you don't have any other questions, I repeat, you know my phone number, my name, and email, and you can contact me anytime, okay? Anytime, and I can answer your concern or question as soon as I can, okay? No more questions?
Thank you so much. I'm going to make sure that everybody has your contact information and the slides and the video recording so that people need to rewatch or look at that and have it.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One last question, more so, Carol-Ann, for you.
Sure, Jacqueline.
So, Carol-Ann, since you're going to go in and access all of the centers, do you want me to hold off on doing anything with Jennifer Sankey until you do what you're going to do with the East Florida centers?
Go ahead, because I'm not going to get this done immediately. Like, it's going to take me some time to get it situated. Okay. So do what you need to do.
That's correct. That's correct. Perfectly well requested, Jack.
Okay.
You need to do that thing as soon as I can, as I said. Regain your access and also provide the information is asking Jennifer Sankey, okay? In that way, we will move on.
Right.
If there is another question, I'm very glad to have this meeting with you guys. Thank you very much for the time you spent on this part. And I repeat, your question, concern will be answered as soon as I receive it. Thank you. Have a great
Thank you very much.
Thank
the rest of the
you.
week.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Carlos.
Bye-bye.